Hi, B and E Block. Welcome to week 3. Week 3, assignment number 3 is about volume. Volume is when we're talking about three-dimensional figures. So I have this cup right here. So volume, let me put it down, is like all the space that's inside, right? So perimeter is the distance around. Area is the space inside like this piece of paper. But volume is like we could fill this cup up with water. That's the volume, how much space is inside. So we're going to be talking about volume. And what I'm going to go through are the formulas on the MCAS formula sheet, which is in our Google Classroom. You will need this formula sheet to do assignment number 3. It's in our Google Classroom. So our volume formulas, V. The first is a cube. I tried to draw these pictures. Some of them are good, and I gotta be honest, some of them are terrible. But a cube is like this. It's all the sides are squares, has 6 square sides. So we have 6 square sides. But all we have to do to find the volume of a cube is find the side, since all the sides are the same, and cube it. So S equals the side. So it's S cubed, which is S times S times S. And that's for a cube. S stands for side. The next shape they talk about on the formula sheet is a prism. Can you say that? Prism. Yeah, and the volume is big B times H. The big B stands for the base, but it's the area of the base. And H, what do you think H stands for? Yeah, it stands for the height. So in these prisms, I actually kind of drew them weird. We consider this the height. This is the height. And the base of this first one is a square. And the base of the second one is a triangle. So for the rectangular prism, our volume would be the area of the base, which is a square. So that's side squared times H, where side is right here. And then for this triangular prism, the area of the base is a triangle. So that's 1/2 base times this height times, and let's call this big height, the big height. So the trick with a prism is first you need to find the area. This is the triangle, and this is a square. The area of the base, whatever shape it is, and then you just multiply by the height. Up next, we have a cylinder, which is like a can of soup or a can of whatever. And a cylinder, the volume is pi r squared h. Pi is just our favorite irrational number. Pi, which is about 3.14. But in your calculator, I want you to use the pi key. Even your phone has a pi key. What do you think R stands for? Yeah, it stands for the radius, which is right here. Remember, it's half of the circle. And lastly, H stands for height. So for a cylinder, we need the radius and we need the height. Not bad. Up next, we have a cone. This is like an ice cream cone, right? It's upside down. And again, the volume of a cone is 1/3. Again, we see pi r squared h. So it's almost the same thing. It's just that we have 1 divided by 3. So again, this is pi. This is the radius. And this time the height is in the middle. This is the height. So this number right here is actually a fancy L, and we call this the slant height. And something that's pretty interesting, if you knew the slant height and the radius and you needed to find the regular height, you could do r squared plus h squared equals L squared. This is an H, because this is a right triangle. Kind of cool. Next is my worst drawing. This is supposed to be a pyramid. I'm embarrassed. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But the volume of a pyramid is 1/3. Again, we see that 1 divided by 3. Big B, which is the area of the base, which in this case is a square. So it would be S and S. So the volume would be 1/3 times S squared times, and the H again is right in the middle, times H. Oh, and that's the height. The last shape I'm going to go through is a sphere. Can you say that? Sphere. And yeah, it's this PH is like an F, in English F, a sphere. And a sphere is volume equals 4 divided by 3 pi r cubed. A sphere is a ball. Pi is pi, and r is just right here, the radius. That's all we need to know. I have one example for you, and then you guys have 5 practice problems. The only example is to find the volume of this cylinder. First step, what should we do? Yeah, we should remember, what's the formula for a cylinder? Volume equals pi r squared h. Remember, all of these are on your formula sheet. Pi r squared h. Okay, so this is volume, V equals, pi is pi. What's r? What's our radius? Is it 8? No, the diameter is 8. All the way across is 8. So what's our radius? What's half? Yeah, it's just 4. So this is 4 squared times, what's our height? Yeah, it's just 10. And just so I can show you that you can do this on your calculator, right here, on your phone calculator. So right here is the pi key, right on the bottom. See it? I'm just going to do pi times 4 squared times 10. And my answer is the volume equals 502.65 centimeters cubed. Volume is units cubed. There's your example. The other shapes are different, but you have all of the formulas. Please, please give it a try. If you need more help, I have office hours this week. You can sign up for the office hours. They're in the Google Classroom. Or you can email me and we'll find a time that I can help you. You guys can do this. Have a great week.